All right, we are live. I'll give it a few minutes for you all to see me. In the meantime, I'm going to drink some water, and I'll be back in a momento. Okay, got my big old face in there. All right, let me get the comments loaded in so y'all can start commenting. Comment. All right, we are loaded for comments. We are streaming to YouTube. I am Dawn Duvall with Stampin' Up! I'm an independent demonstrator, and I've been doing this it will be 12 years. Let me think about this. 2011, right? 2010. Yeah, no. 2010, 11, 21. Yeah, be 11 years next month. So, hello, Karen Jo. How you feeling? I know I am warm. I had to take my shoes off. I was hot. I never wear shoes and socks. It's very rare. And I had little footy socks on in my little shoe boots. And I'm sitting in here sweating. I thought, it's got to go. So I had to take that thing off. This is not happening. So how are you doing? It's cold, isn't it? I mean, for us it's cold compared to what everybody else is. But anyways, I'm glad you were joining me this morning. I'm really working hard and getting ahead of the game, so that's pretty good. I've already got stuff ready for Tuesday and working on some other stuff, so that's exciting. Not sure what I'm doing. I'm getting there. Had a bad cold. Oh, sorry. I know. When we're used to this warm weather, 50 degrees, and at Shell Point, when I come down to the island, the weather is completely different because we're right on that river or water, whatever that is. And I tell you, some days it's colder down here, and the wind's blowing, and yesterday it wasn't blowing that bad, but then when I got home, it was blowing like snot, so it's crazy. You got fire in oh, how nice. My husband teaches, he retired in August. He's a professor teaching online now. He was working at Florida Southern College in Lakeland for 10 years was his goal, and he ran the MBA program. And so he retired in August, so he's teaching there online, and he also teaches at William & Mary out of Williamsburg, Virginia. But this class that just started today, or the last couple of days, is a hybrid class. So it's online, but they have 4 Saturdays. So every other Saturday now this month, he'll go to class. Well, he had to drive to Lakeland, and he wasn't sure what the travel time was going to be, or traffic, I should say. So he left at 7:30. Well, he got up there at, I think it was a little bit before 10, and went to Sam's Club and got gas and all that. So he's there. His class doesn't start till 12:45. So he's there way early. So I'm here. I'm here, but when I get home, I'll be all by myself until about 7 o'clock tonight. Isn't that exciting? Oh my God, you've been sick since December 30th. Have you gone to the doctor? I hope so. Good Lord, girl. I feel for you. Are you able to go to work? Or are you having to stay home? Well, let's see if anybody else is going to come on. Oh, it's only 11:32. Everybody should start popping in about now. So we'll give it a few minutes. You haven't been working? Oh my gosh. You poor thing. I hope you feel better. I can't believe a cold would last that long. You don't think it's pneumonia or anything like that, do you? Oh, you work from home. Aren't you lucky? What do you do? What kind of work? I'm being nosy now. I did that in the last 15 years when I was working. I worked in the mortgage world, so at SunTrust. So I was able to, I set my own, because you worked on straight commission, so I set my own hours. And I went in the office and met customers there, and I met customers. at some of the bank branches, which was easier for them to make it more convenient. But I tried not to work weekends if I didn't have to. Oh, you're a bookkeeper. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I tried not to do weekends, and sometimes my customers would call and say, I'd like to make an appointment. I said, would you like to come in one night this week? Well, I don't get off work till 4. I said, I'm usually here till 9. So I tried to get everybody to come in during the week so I could have my weekends off. But weekends off from seeing customers, and what I still worked, just inputting loan files and stuff like that. But it was so nice because if I really didn't feel like getting dressed and going in right away, I could just work from home, and input files and do all that fun stuff. So, well, at least it's good that you're able to working in a bookkeeper. That'll keep you busy, especially I assume this time of year, trying to get all the records finalized for for IRS. Good morning, Patty from Maryland. How are you? It's cold down here. I'm sure it's cold up in your neck of the woods. Hey, Marcia, how are you? Yep, we got Patty, Marcia, and Karen Joes on here so far. We're going to give it about another minute or so, and then we're going to start, because I took the driver. Here at Shell Point, they have what's called a driver on demand. So if you don't feel like driving, and some of these older folks, they shouldn't be driving. So they pick you up and take you wherever you want to go in our community. And it doesn't cost anything, and you can't tip. You're not supposed to tip. So it was, Chuck's got the car, obviously. And he goes, well, take the golf cart. Well, our golf cart doesn't have, we bought a used one. It's really nice. But anyways, it doesn't have any sides to it. And I thought, I am not driving that thing. We're taking it in next week to get sides put on. I said, I'm not driving. I'm taking driver on demand. So you just call them, and they come and pick you up within 5 minutes. And so today, their last pickup is 1:30. So I'm just going to call and have them pick me up before then and take me back home. Isn't that cool? So if you don't want to, drive, you just call the man or call the woman, whoever. So, I mean, it's really a nice, I'll tell you, this community here is a really great community. Hey, Patty, I hope your niece, I hope y'all have scheduled that baby shower before or after we go on vacation so y'all can come down to Florida. So, anyways, all right, it's 11:35, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm sure those people out in the Midwest, probably it's an hour behind us. So how far is my house? Who is this? Oh, how far is your house from where? How far is your house? From the island area? It's like a 10-minute drive, if that. Not even that long to get down to our cousin's studio. So anyways, all right, well, let's go ahead and get started. And those that come on afterwards, they'll just have to catch up or watch the replay or what have you. But, that I need a driver. It's about 10 minutes, a 10-minute drive, but I'm not going to get out and walk. Or it's probably, it takes 10 minutes to drive here, 10 to 15 minutes to drive. So that's why I just take the driver on demand. But tonight we have a gender reveal party. Oh, that's cute. All right. That's awesome. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down. I'm going to do 2 different cards for you guys. I'm going to start out with one. We'll do first. And then the second one, I'm going to show you what I did with that one. And then I'm going to show you how I stepped it up. And just to show you, again, what you can do with just little bits of piece of paper and cardstock. So I'm going to flip the camera down. Now, the first stamp I'm going to use is this cute Silly Goose. And this is on page 27 of that new mini catalog. So I know you all have catalogs, but if you don't have one, let me know and I'll send one out to you. This is so cute. I love this set. It's got, let me see here, 13, it's got 13 stamps, and there's 4 pictures, so that's what, 9 sentiments? I think that's right. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 13. So I think this is the cutest thing, and I have thought of all sorts of stuff. I'm going to use this guy right here. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with my paper. And if you have your stuff with us, with you, then you can stamp along, or you can watch me, and we will just move on, and you can make your cards later. And if you want to post them to the group page, or yeah, to the group page. Then I'm trying to set up a folder. And Patty, you may know how to do this. I've got a page. It's not a business page, but it's a page. But for some reason, it doesn't let you put files or folders in there. I think. I'm going to go back and check it one more time. I think I can do it, but I don't think y'all can do it. But anyways. Okay, so remember the measurements. And I don't have that thing printed out, and I should have. We're going to have a card base. Oh, I'll tell you what they are. We're going to have a card base, whichever size you choose to do. And then we're going to have another piece of cardstock that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to have a piece of white. Oh, you know what? I'm missing my thing. Oh, hang on. Piece of white that is going to be 2 3/4 by 4. Hey, Char, how are you? From Wisconsin. I know it's got to be cold up there. All right, we're just getting started. Welcome. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. All right, so we're just getting started with our first card, and we're going to work with the Silly Goose stamp set since you're just joining, and I'm going to use these two guys right here, and then I'm going to do another card as well. So here are the here are the papers that I'm going to be using. Okay, so we've got our card base, 4 by 5 1/4, 2 3/4 by 4, and 1 by 2 3/4. Okay, so I am going to fold. I know I'm going to fold my cardstock, and you should always use your, I always fold it this way, but anyways. And then we're going to use our bone folder. And this, I think what's great about this template is if you've got little scraps of paper around, you're going to see how we can use your paper, use the same design, and use various stamp sets and have a whole bunch of different looks. Hi, Carol. Thank you for joining. And I'm sure it's cold there in Minnesota. We're in Florida, so we're talking about our 50 degrees and blowing winds. So I'm sure it can't compare to what y'all have. All right, so I'm using a mint macaron, which I'm doing a 4 1/4 by 11. And then this is sweet sorbet, and this is the 4 by 5 1/4 piece that I'm using, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and attach this one. And what I was saying is that this is a great, if you got small scraps laying around, this is a great way that you can use up some of those scraps. And you can do the same thing, but if you use different, hang on, gotta get my glue to work. If you use different paper and stamps or whatever, it looks completely different. So it's a great way to use up. All right, hang on. My glue does not want to cooperate. All right, let me get my other one. Hang on a second. Hold up. I don't know why this one's not working. It is. It's full, but anyways, we'll just put him over here. I know this one works because I just opened it yesterday. All right, so anyways, you'll see how you can make these designs, and your cards are gonna look completely different, even though you're using the same template, if you will. Okay, so this is my sweet sorbet, so I'm gonna place that right on here, just like we normally do, right? So the only thing different is we're just gonna make things smaller. Okay, now I'm gonna come in with my Memento Black, and I'm going to actually, yeah, because I'm gonna put this underneath. Okay, let me get my little gooses here. My silly goose. These are so daggone cute. I'm telling you. I just started using this. I'm going to make some more cards. I think I got too much ink on his face. Well, we'll see. It is just so daggone cute. It's just precious. All right, so I'm going to stamp my goose, or my geese, since there's two, right? And I'm going to stamp that. This is my 2 3/4 by 4 piece. So I'm going to stamp mine like this. And then I've got another card I'm going to show you that I did, and then I'm going to recreate it, but I'm going to step it up a notch. So I'll show you how you can make your cards look really like you put a lot of work into them, but you really didn't, right? So, all right, so there's my goose, or my geese. Now, he's got a little bit too much black, but we're not going to worry about that. You know what? It's okay. All right, and then I'm going to take my pumpkin pie, and I'm using my light color, and I'm just going to color in his legs and their beaks. So that's all I'm going to do. That's the only color I'm going to put on these guys. And aren't they cute? I just think these things are so precious. I'm going to make some more cards. I've been working using the Country Floral, bouquet, and that's going to be Tuesday night. I've got cards already made. I've got about 3 or 4 of them already made, different styles to show you. And I'm sure you've been seeing a lot of that. And now I'm working on the Hootie Owls. So it's celebration time. All right, so there's my geese. That's all I'm going to do. No, nothing fancy. And then I'm going to stamp. This is the cute part. I just love this. If y'all haven't seen this, again, it's on page 27 of that new catalog. And if you don't have a catalog and you're not working with a demonstrator, let me know and I'll be more than happy to send you one. All right, so I am going to stamp right below them the word that says goosebumps. You know, like fist bumps. So they're doing goosebumps. How's that? Except for I didn't get enough ink on that, but you know what? We're not going to worry about it. We're moving on. All right, so this is an easy, quick card. The next one will be a little bit more, take a little bit longer. All right, so I'm going to come in here. Now, this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to lay that down. But I'm going to take, this is my designer piece of paper that I took, and I am going to put it down. I think I'm going to use the green so that it pulls in the stamp from the card base. So I'm going to place this. Let's see. I'm gonna try to get it straight. I'm going to place that right about there. So let's go ahead and push this down. This is just so much fun. I'm glad you y'all are here joining me on this cold Saturday. Okay. And then this guy, I don't know if I'm not going to pop him up. I'm just going to lay him down. Just going to lay him down and leave it flat. Now the next one, you'll see a whole different variation of how I did this, and then you'll see how when you use your scraps like this, you can change up the look of that card. And you know, oops, I got pushed too hard. I'm moving my little geese around. Hang on, let me get him back over here so he's straight. Hang on a minute. I was trying to get him flattened down. There we go. Is that straight? Yeah, I think so. It looks a little crooked, doesn't it? All right, hang on a minute. We got to get this guy straightened up because that's going to drive it. Not that it's going to drive me crazy, but it's going to drive me just a tad crazy because most of the time this stuff doesn't bother me. But all right, we're going to leave it like that. That's okay. All right, so there's that. So that's my card. Nothing fancy, but it's easy and it's cute, and you're using a little strip of your paper. Okay, so that's my first card. And of course, then we have to add our paper. So I cut a strip. It's like 2 1/4 if I'm not mistaken. This one's 2 3/4. You probably could do 2 1/2 if you wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. I just realized that I'm going to have to use my Tombow because I just looked in my drawer because I used up my seal yesterday and realized I don't have any seal. I mean, I have Seal Plus, but I just don't work well with that. So I need to place an order and get some seal ordered. So anyways, all right, so we're going to go ahead and decorate the back of our envelope. And then again, that's going to pull in our designer paper. And we'll just move this up just a tad. Get that right up against the edge there. And then we'll just trim this down, and I'm sure you all have done this before. And again, this is a great way to use up your scraps, or your paper, because you know we tend to hoard it, right? So we buy paper because we like it, and it's so pretty, and then we tend to kind of don't want to cut it up or use it because it's too pretty, and we have to stop doing that. We have to use it, make cards, decorate envelopes, make boxes, bags, whatever you can to use up your pattern paper. And this is one way that you can do it. Plus, you know, it probably makes the mail people happy to see some mail. Now, I'm going to keep this scrap because I can use this. I made 5 cards yesterday from little scraps sitting around on my desk. All right, so look at that. And the mail people are probably happy when they see stuff like that. So there's our first card. Now, I'll put my white piece on the inside later because I always do that when I mail it out. All right, so that's my first card. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so now we're going to come in and we're going to do some blending with our blending brushes. And let me get everything organized. Now, this is the card that I'm going to make, and this is using the Seaside, By the Bay, okay? Now, you can see I've got I've got Night of Navy, 8.5 by 5.5, Balmy Blue, 4 by 5.25, and then here's my white piece, and then I attached the piece of designer paper on the edge, but before I did that, I used my blending brushes, which we're going to do, and color this in. Hi, Linda. How are you? And so I blended all of this first and then attached my designer paper and then added a bird. But look at that. So see, it's the same design, right? But it just changes the whole card up differently. All right, now this one, I'm gonna create the same thing, but I'm gonna pop it up just one notch so you'll see the difference between this one and the one that I'm gonna create. All right, so I'm gonna lay that one right there, and I'm gonna bring in all of my paper. And the first thing I'm going to do is, of course, we're gonna do some blending. So I'm using, like I said, Night of Navy. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold this in half. And I meant to do, this one I'm gonna do vertical. I'm not gonna do the landscape mode. I'm gonna do it in a vertical mode. So this one's gonna stand up like this, and this one's gonna be like this. So you'll be able to see the difference. Hi, Kathy from Twin Falls, Idaho. How are you doing this morning? I just finished our one card, so you'll have to come back. I did a little goose, and I'll show you these again at the end. They're pretty simple, same measurements, but we're just using different color paper in different ways. All right, so this is the card that I created, and we're gonna replicate this, but I'm going to knock it up one notch and just make it a little bit, pop it up just a little different, okay? And I'm gonna change the format from horizontal to vertical. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in I'm gonna set this over here off to the side. I'm gonna bring in my grid paper because I'm gonna do some blending, and I'm using Balmy Blue, Pacific Point, and then Crumb Cake for our sand, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my sand, because to me, I don't know just what I want to do. We'll just do the sand that way. And then we'll come in, and then I'll do my clouds and the other stuff. So this is my Crumb Cake. So I'm just going to go ahead and do some blending. Now, you know we have our blending brushes, and then in the new catalog, we have smaller ones. So, hi Phyllis, how are you? We have smaller ones now that are probably, I don't know, I haven't bought them yet, but they're, and then we have a nice holder. So we have a new holder. So if you haven't purchased anything to put your blending brushes in, now would probably be a good time to do that. And for those that are just joining, I will show you the card, my first card that I did. And right now we're gonna make this card using By the Bay. And then I'm just gonna I'm popping this one up gonna make this one a little pop to it. So this is my sand. So I'm just gonna blend this around. And not that I'm the greatest in blending, that's for sure. But what I'm going to do is always start off, because you don't wanna get that big smudge. I'm just gonna blend to the right, and then I come back to get the brushes, the ink off the brushes. And we're gonna get that, and I'm gonna go up a little bit higher. Okay, so we're going to come in just a little bit higher to give us a little bit more sand, okay? And this is just a fun way, and then you can see how, again, using these little scraps of designer paper, how it's going to take our card and change it up, all right? Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my Pacific Point. You know what, hang on, I'm going to do the sky first. I'm going to do my Balmy Blue. So let's do our Balmy Blue. All right, so again, I'm gonna do the same thing. And I'm just gonna kind of blend in to get a sky. And then the Pacific Point I'm gonna use for the water. So that's gonna kind of give it that water look. And we're just gonna come in and do some more blending with our Balmy Blue. You know, blending, if you haven't done this, it's really a fun technique, and it's not that hard. You just color, just blend your brushes around, and and I'm just going to bring my sky down a little bit. And there's no right or wrong way. And for those of you that want it to be perfect or whatever, just remember that the person getting this card has no idea what it's supposed to look like, right? Okay, so now I'm going to pull in my water using my Pacific Point. All right, and then, and this one's a dark one, so I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to bring this in like this to give it my water. See, I put too much on my thing, so now I got to try to get those little things blended off because I didn't do that very good. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more blending here. I'll come back with my light because I've kind of taken away my sky. We'll just come back and do a little bit lighter. All right, so that, and let me come back with my light blue because I got too much water on that one. So we'll come back with our light blue, and hopefully we can kind of lighten this up some. All right, so yeah, there we go. Definitely giving you a different look compared. That one's more white, this one's more dark. But that's okay. That's all right. All right, and then we're going to come back with our our crumb cake, and I'm going to put the sand on here. So let's move this out of the way. And then I'm just going to stamp the stamp. It looks like a shoe. Doesn't that look like a boot? And we're going to stamp this and make our little sand pieces or whatever. So I'm just going to stamp this randomly, twisting and turning the boot around. I'm calling it the boot. Twisting it around so that we can get some sand particles on here or whatever. All right, I think that's good. Okay, and then you can definitely see my other card is much lighter. All right, now I've taken my piece of 1 inch by 2 3/4, and I'm going to attach that right here. So you can see, or you could do the other side, but I'm doing this one because we're doing the shells. All right, so you can see what the difference is just by changing the colors of your ink and paper, and you have a whole different type of card using the same measurements. So that's kind of cool to do. All right, so we're just going to lay this on this end here, and then I've already cut out one of the birds. And this set does, by the Bay, this set does come with coordinating dies, and that is found on, hang on a second, let me see what page it's on. This is found on page 23 in the catalog, and it's got this beautiful, beautiful paper. You could just use this paper and not even have to do a lot of stamping, to be honest with you. That's just gorgeous. All right, so we've added this to our piece there, and then we're going to bring in our bird, and I'm going to pop him up on some dimensionals. And actually, let me go ahead, before I pop him on there, I'm going to put that there. Let's go ahead and put our card together. Now, this is what I did to show you the difference of what I ran this through an embossing folder. And look at that, and it's going to change the whole look of this card. So I'll put them side by side in just a minute. And I just thought, oh, this is so clever. So isn't that pretty? Let's see, let's get this all. I'm going to put a lot of glue on here just because it's embossed, and I want to make sure that it's going to stay. So now this one, again, I'm going to do it as a horizontal card. I'm going to lay that there. And then I'm going to lay this flat. I'm not going to pop this up. And this is going from side to side. Okay, so we're going to put that, we'll bring it down just a little bit. It doesn't have to be quite centered. So let's go ahead and add our adhesive. Oh, I got to do, oh, you know what? I got to do a sentiment, and I didn't bring a piece of paper. So let me, hang on. I got a scrap right here. We'll come up with a sentiment in just a minute. All right, so we're going to lay that right about there. And it doesn't have to be in the center of the card. You can place it wherever you want. I'm trying to use that glue again, and it doesn't want to cooperate. I'm not sure what's wrong with that, but anyways. All right, so we're going to glue this. Get some glue over there. I love this embossing folder. I haven't used it that much, and I really could kick myself because it's just got so many neat things if you like beach stuff. So I'm going to lay this down a little bit like that. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to put my bird. Now you can see the difference, and I'll bring the card in just a minute. Probably should have done 3 cards. All right, so I'm going to put my little birdie right here. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with a sentiment. Let me see if I can find a smaller one. Hang on a second. I'm not going to stamp it on the card base here because it's been embossed, right? So I'm going to stamp it on a strip of white, and then I'll just cut it down. And let's see, which sentiment do we want to use? I guess I'll do, let's do thank you for everything. That's what I did on the other one, but let's do that one. And I'm going to do that. Let me find it. Thank you for nope, don't want that one. All right, so thank you for everything. Let me grab my block here. Thank you. I just love these. I mean, it's such an easy, and I'll show you, let me get my navy blue because I'm going to, I'm sorry, the Pacific Point. I'm going to stamp it in Pacific Point, and we'll just, we'll cut it into a flag. We'll put it down at the bottom. Let me make sure I got some ink on here, and then I'll show you the cards. And these are so quick and easy. I probably should have, I guess I'll do it down here because this piece is a little bit bigger. I probably should have made a couple more. All right, so we're going to do that. And we'll put him over here. And let's just trim this. Let's see, let's do, how about if we do a tail going over this direction. So let's cut this about here. And then we'll just do a tail. So I just cut up the center, and you can make it as short or as long as you want. And then just cut from the outer corners to the tip of your center cut. And then you can make your little flag there. All right. And I think this one, I think we'll pop this one up on dimensionals. Because, yeah, let's just do that. Why not? Why not? Thank you all for joining me. I know some of you are probably in your pajamas with your coffee. I had to get dressed to come down to the studio. Otherwise, I'd still be in my lounge around clothes. So I'm going to place this. I'll put this over here on this side. How about if we center it? Okay. All right. So there's that. And then, of course, we want to take a piece of our designer paper, because we had a strip of it, and I'm going to add it to the side of my card, just because I have this big piece here that I can use. And let's go ahead and add our adhesive to this, and then I'll cut it down. In this paper, look at this side. Isn't that paper gorgeous? It's just beautiful. Whoever designed this paper, oh my goodness. Love, love, love it. If you love the beach, which I do. All right, so we're going to place this. Let's place it right here. And you can, I just start at the top and line it down, and then I'll just trim it off and take any excess glue that I just put on there. All right, and that kind of helps the inside of our card too. So let's do that and cut that off. I got a piece of scrap in there. So let me know if y'all are enjoying these. This is our second one that we've done. So if you like it, how often would you like to do this? Like every other week? Stay with once a month, every 3 weeks? This is how I think we did it about 3 weeks ago. All right, and then I'm going to add that to the inside of my card, and then this will be ready for me to write my sentiment to whoever I send this card to. So think about it and give me some ideas of how often you'd like me to do this. And if I keep coming up with easy ones, then I'll probably make 3 cards just so that make it worth your while at least, right? Okay, so there's our inside of a card, and look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now look at the difference in my 2 cards. So same card, same design, but I popped it up, used an embossing folder. This is a little bit darker scene than this one. Isn't that pretty? And then here is our Goosebumps that is from the Silly Goose set. This is the first card that I made. And there's our 4 by 2 3/4 by 4, and our piece of designer paper. I put it underneath with some sweet sorbet, and that's the stamp set we're using there, the Silly Goose stamp set. But look at that. So there you go. We've got 3 cards using the same pattern, but looks completely different, don't you think? PJs and coffee. I knew it. Oh, I'm sorry you had to come in late. Somebody wants to do it twice a month. We just need to figure out how to post pics and what we take. Yeah, I agree. So I'm going to look at the Facebook page. If we can't get it there, then I may do it in the group page. So if you're not a member of my VIP group, then you'll need to join that so that you can have access to that as well. But I'm going to look at that again. I think I can do albums on the Facebook page, but I don't know if y'all can add to them. That's what I need to find out. So I'm going to have to ask for some help. But there are my 3 cards. I hope you all have enjoyed that. It's look, it didn't take but 30 minutes. So thank you. I appreciate you watching. If you have any suggestions of any other things that you would like to see, just leave me a message, or however you want to reach out to me. I would appreciate it. And we'll do this in the next 2 to 3 weeks, unless y'all want to have it. I would think probably either every other week or every 3 weeks. So anyways, here you go. Thanks again. I'll send out another template when we get closer, and I'll set the date. So thank you again, everyone. If you haven't shared my video, please do so. The more people I can reach, the better it is. And it's so much fun to make cards and send them out, and you never know how it's going to make someone's day. So, all right, stay warm, everyone. Coming to you from 50-some degrees here in Florida. So, thank you, everyone. All right, see ya. Don't forget to join me Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our weekly Facebook Live. I've got 3 cards that are ready to go. All right, thank you, everyone. Happy weekend.